We are 2 days into OTAs, and reportedly Ben Johnson is bringing that intensity. Me and Bobby are going to discuss what the Bears OTAs is looking like, our thoughts from it all, and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. We got Bobby, myself, Haize in the building today, and we got details coming from OTAs. Bobby, I don't know about you, but everything that I hear about coming out of OTAs just makes me smile, my boy, bro.
It do, and it's the right type of smile. Because we was hearing a lot of glowing stuff, but now we hitting some real stuff. You talk about those goofies and all those that nonsense. Yeah, it's seeming like it's a different tone. So I'm excited.
For sure. So, talking about the intensity, let's start right off. Let's jump right into it. Reportedly, at practice, is that Ben Johnson has stopped practice multiple times to correct things or to let people know when they fucked up. To basically put it frankly, he apparently screamed at Cole Kmet for lining up wrong, which is crazy when it came down to it. Yeah, and Ben Johnson basically saying, I thought that was normal. I worked to get my body language under control. I'm talking about that with the players, so I need to do a better job myself on it. But, hey, listen, Ben Johnson ain't letting the details go by the wayside. How you feeling, Bobby?
Hey, that's what's most important, man. If you want to be one of those good teams in the NFL this upcoming season, it starts now. Because we looked at last season, and then once Matt Eberflus got fired, we started hearing about, we kind of seen some of these lackadaisical things, for lack of a better word, come up in around this time, mini camp, OTAs. And Ben Johnson it's off to a good start. Obviously, we want to see everything translate to being some good football on the field, but it's good that this man ain't letting nothing slide. Because when you let things slide, you get Tyreek Stevenson in a crucial moment celebrating before the game over, and then you losing the game in a crazy fashion. So you got to start now and put foots up people's asses right now. Otherwise, Haize, hey, you tripped me out earlier, boy. He's like, you got dicks in the dirt. That shit was funny as hell. It was funny, but I love it, man. Get on these people's backside, bro, and let them know we trying to change the tone and set the culture to where we want to be winners, not losers, because we tired of it.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be stuck with dicks in the dirt, bro. Like, that's just not a good look, bro. That's all I can say. Like, I'm not gonna lie. That was one of the moments where I was like, "Hey, bro, I'm over here wilding." That was crazy. Yeah.
For real.
But I agree with you, bro. I overall I love hearing that Ben Johnson is creating is putting a nip in the bud of things early on, because that's what you want to do. To your point, you don't want to let stuff start becoming bad habits, because once they do, it's hard to get them back controlled. So you want to get that out the way, fix it early. And that's a really good thing that they're doing here. Ben Johnson, I said it before, changing a culture is one thing. Changing a culture that for the Bears that has had the bad culture through the last 3 or 4 coaches for almost the last decade, it's a lot to do that, because it's rooted in who this franchise is. And so, Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles, everybody has to have their place in changing the culture, and it seems like they're really doing that. And I'm glad to hear that Ben Johnson is setting those expectations and bringing the intensity right away. With that said, though, it looks like Kieran Amagaje got the start nod at left tackle so far. How do you feel about that?
Hey, give every opportunity to see what they're made of. And you gotta look at the guys that's in those positions. You're gonna sit there, you're gonna take advantage of the opportunity, you're gonna sit there and fall. So, and you know what I'm saying? I'm one of those guys, that's on the side of, hey, we found out Chris Morgan was ass. So let's try to get this young fella a proper off-season workout leading into training camp. Let's see what training camp looked like for him. Let's see if he's actually could be a good football player, because there were some really, really bad moments for Kieran Amagaje. But I believe that with some better coaching and a clear focus on the details, he could be a lot better, because he's still young enough to where he has that room to develop and grow. So I say give him every opportunity, and if You got to make decisions on Braxton. Look, I understand you injured, but this the NFL. We got to still go out here and play games and produce, bro.
Yeah, the thought process that you don't lose your position due to injury is gone. Like let's just be
Yeah.
clear. That's that doesn't exist no more. You can absolutely lose your starting position due to injury, especially if the person who steps in for you while you're down performs pretty damn well. Now, I'm not too surprised that Karen Amagaje's got the starting nod. I think that they're going to look at both him, Ozzy. I even think Braxton, once he's fully healthy, they're going to all get looks at training camp to figure out what the best player is to have that starting left tackle position. But it does start showing like where their mindset is with things so far. And, we heard nothing but good things about Ozzy Trapillo out of the rookie mini camp. Now we're hearing Karen Amagaje. Didn't hear that he performed badly or anything like that. So, at the end of the day, I think if all these guys make a legitimate case to be a starting left tackle, that just means that we have more depth than we initially thought. I'm not mad at that.
For real, that's better for the whole entire team because we got a guy on our team right now in Jonah Jackson who went down with injury over there with the Los Angeles Rams. And a rookie came in and filled the void to well enough to Sean McVay was like, hey, I'm sorry, man, but I got to let this young rookie continue to thrive. So those type of things happen all the time. A lot of people don't like it, but it's the way of the NFL, and it has always been that way. You got to be available.
Absolutely. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Apparently, Caleb Williams didn't have the best day. Ball came out slow at times. He was inaccurate at times. How concerned are you hearing that? Because that's some of the same things that we looked at it, that we saw last year, that we know that he needs to develop and grow from.
Oh yeah, no concerns as whatsoever right now. I think they're still in the second day of still installing the scheme and all this stuff, understanding the stuff. You want these type of moments so you can make those corrections right now. Hence why to the earlier discussion, when you hear Ben Johnson getting in people's ass, hey, we need to be as detailed as possible. But I think that when it comes to Caleb Williams, he has to get this down, you know what I'm saying, to the very key. Because the way that you are able to now process this stuff and then execute these type of things at a faster rate is when you completely understand it. And it's gonna take a little time. But I expect him to work his tail off on it. I expect him to go out there and thrive and excel on it and go out there and win us some football games. But right now, no concerns whatsoever. Now, if we get to week 4 in the regular season and it's still looking a little shaky, I'll be scratching my head and asking questions for real. But not right now. I think it's still too early.
Yeah, it's OTAs, right? Like if this was training camp and we were into like a week or so of training camp and we were still hearing that, that's where I'd be a little bit more concerned at. So right now, I mean, the timing not being there, those type of things that happens with a new system, new scheme, because we definitely should not be calling the same plays. And I'm not saying this to knock anybody. I want to be clear. I know people are going to take this, but we heard a lot that Justin Fields looked the best he ever has in some training camps, and we started off that season, and it was the same fucking shit. So I'm not going to take it too good, too bad, whatever it is right now, to be honest with you, bro.
Hey, we had the same shit last year, too. We did hear some, saying little bits and stuff that the defense got the better of the offense and stuff like that. But we also, man, Caleb was lighting them up. Caleb was driving the ball downfield. The offense looked really damn good. Caleb Williams made some wild throws today. It was like, okay, cool. We had enough of that. We want to actually see it translate to some dubs.
Exactly. We're trying to get some wins here. So keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens. But, I mean, definitely, we'll see how it keeps going. Now, Luther Burden is sidelined with the soft tissue injury. Colston Loveland also still sidelined, as well. How important is it, do you think it's going to be to get these two guys who are the first 2 picks under this new regime, to get them ready and geared up, ready by the I think that we need both of them by the preseason, right?
Yeah, I think that's essential, but I think that it's for me, it's more important, at least for right now, for Luther Burden, simply because I think that he's gonna be in that kind of like a Amon-Ra St. Brown type of role, me per se. I think that with tight ends coming into the league, they need a little bit more time. I know that the urgency is up as it appears to be with the Chicago Bears. I'm not saying that Colston Loveland is just, going to be given this ample amount of time to, take his sweet time into this process. But I'm thinking that it's going to be more important for a guy like Luther Burden, because I think that's where he's going to be able to thrive at. I still think that Colston Loveland will have a little bit more time, simply because you can lean on Cole Kmet a little bit more as the season goes on. But you definitely want to get him prepared for that preseason for sure. If you talk about importance, because he's going to be a part of that 12-man personnel often. simply because of his skill set and what he could bring to the Chicago Bears. That creates another dynamic, that creates matchups, and that's going to be able to help him. So I think
Yeah.
that it's very important to get them there, though.
Hey, Crimson, I need you to go back to last year because people were arguing with me because, no, we did actually hear that the O-line looked good last year. And when I was telling people I'm still concerned about the O-line, people were like, Haize, why are you bitching about the O-line? Go and look at it. It's documented, bro. I was like, hey, this O-line shaking everybody. But they said that they were doing good. I'm like, all right, motherfuckers.
Hey, they definitely said it. We was like, hold on. Hey, my man's hopped in here. They've been looking like a defensive coordinator.
I didn't even know you knew he was. First of all, he hopped in here with some new shit, like his forehead shining. We see you, big dog. What's going on?
I didn't even know new shit. You ain't paying attention to me, bro.
Bro, listen. It depends on your lighting because sometimes you and your clothing blend in together with the background. I don't even know you're there if you're not smiling. So
I don't even wear a lot of chocolate. What the fuck is you talking about?
Hey, I don't wear a lot of chocolate. Is crazy.
That's wild. What's good, C-Dub, man? We was talking about training OTAs so far. How you feeling about what you've seen and heard from OTAs so far, brother?
I feel it is I'm about neutral. It's the beginning of OTAs. They just getting kicked off. I really don't have an opinion. I know the tone of Ben Johnson been something different we haven't heard in probably a couple decades and shit like that. And I think it's rightfully so. If you want to change, I would do it the totally opposite. And Eberflus is one of those, I don't want to call him a punk, but he was super nice. You know what I'm saying? He was a super nice guy. And it was kind of hard for him to be a stern and content type of coach. And I'm looking at this guy, Ben Johnson. He's doing the exact opposite of what we had. And I think that is much needed.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about the fact that Ben Johnson is stopping shit early. If people screaming at Cole Kmet for not being lined up right, stopping practice several times so far. Like, that's what we want to see. We talked about Eric Bieniemy and rookie minicamp and the cone. Don't touch the fucking cone. Bro. Hey, bro, I need the whole coaching staff to have that energy, my boy. The whole coaching staff.
Bro, is that good for them young kids though? Damn,
it's good for young, old. Everybody got to have a standard to live up to, bro. Everybody got to.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good. I ain't gonna lose. I'm later on when we do our shows. Y'all look for a take from me. I want to see if this stuff continue. This hard line shit with the veterans up in this locker room. I'm sure it's gonna change. I hope this just the beginning, like a training camp type thing, where you being overly tough on the players and shit.
Why don't you want them to be tough on the players?
Because the most times we hear this and it is like strings out into the season and shit, it usually, especially if you're not winning a lot of games and shit like that, it usually come out like the players are tired of hearing this shit. And that's not just in the sport of football. That's in other sports like basketball and baseball. You can become a little too mean. I'll just say mean, be simple with it, and be too mean to the players. That ain't the word I'm trying to choose, but all that shit is cute, but these dudes got man problems. They got child support, all type of shit. They don't want to keep coming to work and hearing that shit, bro. I'm telling you.
Here's the thing. I think when you look back at some of the best coaches that they were hard on their veterans. Like, I think it comes down to, a coach has to hold themselves accountable too, right? And if you're winning, I think that's what it comes down to. I think there have been coaches that have been successful being hard asses even to veterans. For them, like I said, you gotta be. You can't be winning 3-4 games and then be hard asses on people.
Right.
But I think that comes with if you're winning. I think that standard's there. But I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I understand it too. But I think just to add on, and Uncle, I understand where you're coming from. But I think that what helps it work is how can that coach provide some humility to that stern demeanor that they're trying to put out. Like, for an example, you look at Dan Campbell. I'm pretty sure he a no nonsense guy either. I mean, he not a no nonsense guy, but you see him when they was on Hard Knocks, he was like, look, I'm trying to look out for y'all. I wish I could do this, that, and the third for y'all, but this is just how it got to be so we can go out there for battle. You look at maybe a Mike Tomlin, maybe not the best person to bring up right now for this season, but I'm pretty sure he has his standards, but a lot of players come through his system and say, hey, he looks out for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that Ben Johnson can add that humility aspect to it, because if you just come in and you getting straight down to business, at some point you will get tired of that shit. But if you really look at your coach or the guy that's supposed to be leading you into battle, and you say, it's not just business all the time, even though we know that's the common goal. This guy actually cares about, you know what I'm saying, how my family is doing, or making sure I'm the best version of myself. I think if Ben Johnson is able to add that, you get a better product on the field.
Yeah, I agree well for you guys, bro. Yeah, I just don't want it to come to the point where you just yelling shit and they just block you out, bro, because they tired of hearing the same shit.
For sure.
And that just affects the performance of the team, bro. I think it's a time for that.
My question to that is, are you doing the same shit that's wrong, though?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I think that's a hell of a question, but I don't know. It depends on the situation.
I tell you what, Braxton could have used somebody yelling at him about a bull rush the 54th time. I'm just saying.
And
what if that motherfucker just can't do it?
Then he just don't need to be a starting left tackle. I'm just like, no hate. If you can't handle the bull rush in year 4, you're not a starting left tackle. No matter how good you do other shit, the bull rush should be something that you need to get together. If people can bull rush you to death and that collapses you, you're not a starting left tackle. You can still be a solid left tackle. You can still be a depth piece, but you're not a starting left tackle if I could bull rush the hell out of you, bro.
I agree with that 100%. Once you've proven that you just can't do the tasks that we ask you to do, your time is up. I'm really just talking about Eric Bieniemy, guys. Because I'm just talking about him.
Eric Bieniemy more?
Yeah, because it's a reason.
Here's the thing. I think Eric Bieniemy is a dickhead. And like I said before, sometimes you need a coach to be a dickhead. But I think that because he's not the offensive coordinator now, he's not like he's pretty down the totem pole.
Yeah.
If he's doing that, it's because the other coaches are like, get their asses, bro.
Yeah. And Unc, I think you can agree. Haize will agree because he played running back. Unc, you play wide out. Running backs, you got to talk to us different.
You a wide receiver at 5'6"?
I'm a hell of a wide receiver, dude. I'm a hell of a wide receiver.
At 5'6"?
I got some wheels. I'm not 5'6". Stop saying I'm 5'6".
That's what I was waiting for you to correct. I'm like, he's just gonna take the 5'6".
But Haize, you would agree. Running backs, you got to talk to us different. We carry a different type of chip on our shoulder. Most of us is little as hell like me, and it's bigger dudes coming on the line, back of defensive line, trying to take us out. We respond to a different way. I think the way Eric Bieniemy is going to be talking to these running backs, it's necessary. Tell DeAndre Swift stop bouncing that shit around and go put somebody on their ass. It's a different type of battle you got to go into as a running back.
That pisses me off. He does the hop thing like in Madden. You know, like in Madden when you try to shift. But that's not how it really looks in real life. Like, why are you hopping? What are we doing?
Because his instinct is to bounce every fucking thing to the outside. And he correct himself in mid bounce.
Go pick up them extra yards, put somebody on their ass. Boy, you know, it's crazy when a running back truck a linebacker or a defensive lineman. You hit a crowd, because it's different.
Facts.
I think going into the training camp, I think the running back room, it's gotta be the most interesting room. We know that DeAndre Swift is starting. Is going to be the number 1 running back.
I think to start off.
I mean, technically, there's no depth chart according to Ben
I'm
Johnson, but I mean, I think it's safe to say coming in, he's probably expected to be the starting running back. Like, here's the thing: Kyle Monangai has a lot of talent. Make no mistake about it. I think Kyle Monangai is going to grow his role as the season goes on. But I think DeAndre Swift, I want to be clear, I don't look at him as an everyday back on the perfect scenario either. But I don't think Roshan or Kyle Monangai are every down back either. So
yeah, it's gonna be a split back room.
Yeah,
split running back room.
See, who's the other guy? Who you guys got y'all money on? Just to be preliminary, to be early. Who y'all got y'all money on to be that second guy? Is it Rojo? I'm hoping. I'm praying it's Rojo.
I'm gonna give it to the guy that's coming in out of Rutgers.
What about Rojo?
You gotta show me.
Damn, bro, I can't hate on you.
You gonna get some reps. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's
I think Rojo is gonna probably start off getting, like I said, he's gonna start off probably because I can see Ben Johnson really liking what he provides on paper as far as being able to catch passes, the blocking, the running between the tackles. Those are all things that DeAndre Swift don't bring at more size, right? So I think he's gonna probably start that off. Kyle Monangai is smaller than Rojo, but he brings a lot of those same things. And I'd say he maybe even be a better pass blocker. But I think they're going to trust kind of the experience there, even though I think I'd say that to safe. But by the end of the season, I would not be surprised if Common guy's playing a higher.
That's why I'm
percentage of the
going
snaps.
with it long term.
Who
Well,
is
it's kind of short term, but
who is number
down the road.
35? Have y'all seen that clip? It's the most recent clip of those guys just running out of the break. They tell them to run out of the break. They ran all the running backs out. First they ran DeAndre, then they ran Rojo, kind of like they was in order. And then here came the guy from Rutgers. And then it was a number 35. I know Blasingame is not. Who is number 35?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who the hell is that
But
guy?
I
I was
remember
like, who
seeing
is
that
this?
other running back.
That's Deion Hankins. That is the undrafted free agent running back.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what they made of.
Which, listen, look out for Hankins too.
Oh,
to
you
make
saying he
things
got it? He got a little
listen. If you've watched Hankins tape, everybody's talking about Ian Willer. I'm telling y'all right now, Deion Hankins, he's a motherfucker, bro.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
good.
I gotta put my eyes on Buddy's tape, bro. I
Yeah,
gotta see what's up with
he's
him.
shaped like Bobby, the perfect running back. No neck, all shoulders.
Hey, you just did a video about your twin nephew. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey,
Bro.
I said y'all did it, motherfucker look like me, man. Drop it in the comment. I need to know.
I like
Bro,
how this
you
nigga did the chat
You
GPT.
can't. I'm sorry. You think that motherfucker don't look like you, bro? I need you to get your eyes checked, my boy. Because
Hey,
that was the first thing. Somebody was like, "Hey, you got to watch this kid, Cedric Coward." I'm like, "Bet I'm gonna go look at him." The first thing I was like, "Wait a
Bobby?
second." Bobby didn't tell me he was playing for the fuck.
Bro,
Yeah,
straight
like,
doppelganger nephew.
bro. Like, he's
He like that
definitely your
sometimes.
doppelganger, bro. Like, hey, listen, you may need to send a picture of him to your pops and be like, "Hey, motherfucker, what's this about?"
Oh, the real. Definitely
I meant to
check
tell you, and I know him. I meant to tell
Just
you.
look at that.
Look
Look at that.
That's darker, bro. That's you.
in. Give folks a line up. We'll be straight.
That is hilarious, man. Any other thoughts, y'all, before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man. I cannot wait to see what happens with this running back room. Make sure y'all pay attention to CBC. We close to 19,000 subscribers on our way to 20K.
Matter of fact, we are 19 away from 19K. There's
Some of y'all
223 people
freeloading.
watching. 19 of y'all
Somebody
been
freeloading.
freeloading. Y'all not subscribers. Hit that. Don't make me go back to only making the chat a subscriber only chat. Because y'all be freeloading. Y'all want to come here and interact with us, hit that goddamn subscribe button. Matter of fact, we should be at 18,990 before we end this stream.
Oh,
For
bro.
real, because I want to show love to Javon Dexter. He was the one that invited Grady Jarrett down there to Miami to work out with them guys, showing some leadership. I respect that. Good job to the young fella. And shout out to Grady Jarrett, too. He was like, if guys coming up in here really trying to make friends, and I'm paraphrasing, really trying to make friends, that ain't what we about. We here to do a job. That's it. Paraphrasing is what he actually said. And I'm with it. We here to do a job. Let's go.
Grady Jarrett, bro. He gonna be like, bro, the uncle that walk in the room, everybody shut the fuck up and just fix themselves.
Hey, bro, you definitely know that Grady Jarrett's gonna be coming into practices next day. Like, hey, man, did you let Ozzy Trapillo put you on your ass? Is that what you just let happen? You know he's gonna be like, he's gonna get a damn fight started. Motherfucking hype motherfuckers up, bro. Zach Pickens better listen. He better get his shit together.
Oh,
my
Zach
boy.
better. Oh, I worry about Zach. He on my worry
Oh,
list.
bro, Shamar Turner taking that.
It ain't
Yeah.
nothing to cut that bitch.
That's all I've been seeing is Shamar Turner, Joe. That Mar's strong, bro.
Bro, Shamar Turner, bro, is one of those humans that's like, there's no reason you should be that big and fast at the same time.
On the
I
real.
gotta upgrade my firearms, bro. Looking at that big motherfucker.
I told y'all. Listen, I love to fight, but I'm not against shooting a motherfucker if they too big. That's all I'm saying. Hey, listen.
I'm questioning my gun, like looking at him, looking at this, bro. No, this ain't
Listen.
gonna work.
Anything over 6'4", 250, 60, I'm shooting you. I'm just letting you know, like,
Yeah,
at least in your kneecap, we can fight after that, but I'm getting a shot off. So,
Oh,
Bro, we gotta make it even, bro. We gotta make it an even match.
On the real. What are you talking about?
well, we appreciate y'all for coming to hang out with us in the middle of the week on a Wednesday, man. We're going to get back consistent with these midweek streams. We've been thrown off our game. It's been mainly me, not the boys. I'll take accountability for that. That's my bad.
Me too.
Definitely all of us.
Yeah,
on, bro.
so we appreciate y'all. Y'all can follow us at Chi Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related. We'll see y'all in the next one.
Y'all better get
Peace.
Eric